Hey, what's up guys? It's Ben 10,000 Watcho, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero, and today guys, I'm showing off my personal deck. Main, extra, and side and all. Stick around. Alright guys, so in case you're new here, I don't often do videos like this. I usually have a little conversation here at the front, then we do some replay footage, and then I go deck profile at the end. But today, it's just a deck profile. But before we get into that said deck profile, I need you guys to know that I am in a race with two other small Yu-Gi tubers, Cinderwig and Yusei Wajio Pro. And I'm doing great. We're in the 240s. If you guys get me to 250, I'll be like halfway there to 500. I'm not sure where Cinderwig is at the moment of recording this video, but I do know that Yusei is like 317 or something like that. He's like, I've got a long ways to go, so I'm kind of the underdog here. So if you guys want to help me out, it'd be greatly appreciated. So, without further ado, let's get into that deck profile, shall we? Let me show you what I personally play. Alright guys, if it isn't blatantly obvious that my personal deck is a Lightsworn deck, well, it's a Lightsworn deck. So, without further ado, let's get started. First of all, we got Triple Photon Thrasher. This is one of my play starters, so to speak. Triple Wolf. Another card that leads to easy pluses. Alright, probably the most annoying play disruptor in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! For us budget players, Fairy Tale Snow. Alrighty. Triple Hand of the Lightsworn, Raiden. Two of my new favorite play extending cards, Diana of the Light Spirit. Then we have one, Lila the Twilight Sworn's Enchantress. Get rid of that pain in the ass back row. Trick Clown, basically think of it as a fourth wolf. Double Lumina. And I call it the backup to the Fairy Tale Snow, Grand Maju de Areza. Two Ash Blossoms, thank you to my best pal Edwin who gave me these. So now I actually have competent hand traps. One Glow Up Bulb, this leads us to one of our powerhouse negators. Effect Veiler, another powerhouse hand trap. And one of the cards, this spell card, that was all the monsters. Now for the spells, this is the spell card that actually, I think, for me personally, if you draw this card, it makes the deck, just stupid. Photon Sanctuary. I mean, all of our monsters are pretty much light, except for, three monsters, really, that we even play. And so, even though we can get locked into light monsters, who gives a crap? Because this card really allows us to, make plays and make it extremely difficult for an opponent to get rid of my, or to get rid of my resources as a whole. Then we have Triple Charge of the Light Brigade. The Rhoda for Lightsworns. Works really well when you in tangent with Diane. The one of Monster Reborn, the one of Rhoda, the one of Soul Charge, the one of Card Destruction. These cards are pretty stupid, we're graveyard oriented, so card destruction is just basically a free draw for us. Solar Recharge, and because hand traps are a pain in the royal behind, double Called by the Grave. I hate back row, so one Twin Twister, and two of my favorite card. That's right, for the Lightsworn players who just can't stand this, get a good, nice look. Two copies of Rise to Full Heights. This saves my bacon from being destroyed by battle. Now, if you guys ever been OTK'd or FTK'd by Boral Sword Dragon, you would know that this card would save your ass from that. Learn your lessons, Lightsworn players. I did. That's the main deck. Now, we're going to go into the extra deck. Give me just a second here, guys. Right there. Alright, we got one Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, and of course one Scarlight to go with it. Glow Up Bulb is how you get to this. One Cyframe Lord Omega, I bought it when it was like $7. One Michael, because, you know, it's Lightsworn. One Dawn Dragster, an easy negator we can get on the board. It's really cheap to play. The Utopia package, because let's face it, being able to beat over pain in the backside monsters and not have to worry about floating effects is great. Bujente, so we can get back that banished Grand Maju if we have to. Castell for spot removal. The Queen, right here. Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn. She is Queen. Right there. The newly unbanned Exciton Knight, because who needs Judgment Dragon when you got this bad boy? Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion. I abused the snot out of this card. Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus. So basically these cards are, you know, get stuff out of your hand like Wolves and Fairy Tales, so you can blow up cards that are pain in the backside. And the MVP for this deck, and one of our starter cards, Hippo Shinnigan. This card basically turns all of your Lightsworn, your mini little Lightsworn monsters, into big old beat sticks. And that is super useful. So essentially what ends up happening is, like usually I'll end up into board like this, and I'll have a 25 Minerva, a Hippo Shinnigan, and a Rise to Full Height or a Fairy Tale in the grave. And I feel pretty confident because these two guys float, give me a light monster back, mill some more, maybe blow something up. And of course with Rise to Full Height or Fairy Tale, you can slow down your opponent. There's other plays you can do, like obviously you can also end with like Dawn Dragster here in defense mode. Like if you really, like if you open up Soul Charge, you can open up with like Hippo Shinnigan and like, you know, Dawn Dragster and Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. And I know he'll only be 2,800, but that's still pretty big. And when you got two negators and a lot of disruption in the graveyard, your opponent really can't really do a whole lot with that, unless they, like, of course, get a Kaiju or something. But you know, and that's going to happen regardless of whatever deck you're playing, for the most part. All right, now for my sideboard of choice. Speaking of Kaijus, we are playing a Kaiju package. So let me get that in order for you guys real quick. We have a Kaiju package. For obvious reasons, because, you know, if we mill the Slumber here, we can get a free Kaiju, which we could just get rid of problem cards. In the effort of also getting rid of problem cards, we have two Pankratops, basically. I mean, he's a free beat stick. I mean, he's basically, I would akin him to like an MST on legs, or the equivalent of like a Twin Twister, because you summon him, you beat over something, you effect pop something else. I mean, you lose one, they lose two. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a really good play. Blazing Mars, this is for in time, because he has a burn effect, so you know, you can mill him to the graveyard, and then he brings himself back, and he can destroy all the other monsters and inflict a lot of damage. Also, he's very much an akin to Fairy Tale Snow that way. Eater of Millions, also for problem monsters, namely something like, say, the Thunder Dragons, because you could just play these guys, banish them, they don't have to worry about anything. Galaxy for back row hate, Geki for front row hate, Twin Twisters for back row based decks, evenly matched because I actually pulled one from the 10, so lucky me, so now I have an evenly matched, so there's that. So obviously that is also for decks like, you know, like Thunder Dragons, for example, and then of course for Breakthrough Skill, because just in case we need an extra monster effect negation. This deck is really solid. I have a really good record playing it. I mean, the only thing I might have issues with would be the FTK decks, but Fairy Tale Snow, if I get to go first, Fairy Tale Snow or Effect Veiler and Ash Blossom, those cards can really slow that down. So I'm not too worried about the FTK burn deck. It is what it is. If you get FTK'd, you get FTK'd. I mean, it is what it is there. There's really no way to stop it unless you just, you know, have a multitude of hand traps. And sometimes you're just not going to have those cards. Anyway, guys, so this is my personal Lightsworn deck. If you guys like it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and let me know you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the Ben 10,000 YGO channel. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. So I hope to see you guys in the subscriptions. If you have a suggestion, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.